if I have no confidence that they were done correctly, then the whole house of cards.
Correct.
Hey there, it's another episode of Healthy Exchanges with Dr. G. Today I have a special guest for you, someone that has been a cheerleader of mine, and I didn't even know it until I did, and even then a louder cheerleader of mine from the very beginning in 2021 when we opened our doors. A little about this show. This is a show about providing access, unfettered access and information to the community with a mission of increasing healthcare outcomes or improving healthcare outcomes in our community. While we do that, I introduce to you beautiful people, beautiful services, entrepreneurs, men and women in our community doing great things with a heart of gold. And this guest, Miss Alicia Malone of A&M Phlebotomy, is one of those people. A heart of gold. An integrous woman, an entrepreneur from Miami, Florida, right where many of us are from, but she decided to do her thing her own way. She's going to tell us how she did that. So without further ado, Miss Alicia Malone.
Hi, thank you for having me, Dr. G. I'm Alicia Malone with A&M Phlebotomy Services. Like he said, born and raised in Miami. Dr. G, thank you for having me.
You're so very welcome.
So today we're going to talk about labs.
Labs.
Yes.
That's the only part of the story, right? Mm-hmm. Labs is something that is essential to medical doctors, especially in internal medicine in the outpatient setting. We also use it in the hospital setting.
Correct.
Pediatrics, all the way up to geriatrics, use labs.
Correct.
So we can make good decisions.
Right.
We use this information to make decisions. So
yes.
It's very important to get the right set of labs and drawn correctly, would you say?
Yes, I will say that.
Okay.
And that's where it comes in from the physician itself. So what A&M Phlebotomy is based of is a patient service center like other labs. So what we do, if a patient doesn't want to go to other labs, they can come over to A&M Phlebotomy Services and get their blood work drawn. Right now, we are accepting Medicare. That's the only insurance that we accept. We are also a concierge services. But let me say this to you. We charge for convenience fee.
Of course.
It's $25 to have your lab work done there. So what we do is we process it and we send it to the ordering lab that the physician orders, okay? And then we process it and then we send it on to the ordering lab.
And then what happens? It ends up on the doctor's table? Or,
yes,
the
results goes back to the ordering physician.
Okay.
So once again, all we do is just draw the blood and we process it and the lab come pick it up.
That sounds very convenient.
Yes,
it sounds like it's something that's a little bit outside of the norm in that, we have our giants or two big, big competitors in the U.S. And so what you're saying is that you represent a choice outside of the norm for why would someone choose you versus one of the big box laboratories? What makes you different than the Walmarts of the laboratory system?
Okay, number one is premier customer service. The wait time is 15 minutes and you're out within 15 minutes. Everything takes 15 minutes. I only schedule accordingly to like every 15 minutes. I do not have my patients jammed up on one another. I don't do that. And also accuracy. We make sure that the doctors get everything done when we send them out to the lab. So just say, okay, you call me and you say, well, the patient does not have their results. So what we do is we get on the phone and we call the lab and we say, we ask them, okay, could I please give you this patient name and date of birth because the doctor does not have the labs. So we do that as a courtesy for the patient, most definitely, and the doctors. Our number one goal is the patients, Dr. G. And our number two goal is the doctor. Okay, so long as the patients are satisfied, then we are satisfied. So once again, back to the resort. So we make sure that we call the lab, and they'll either fax me the results, or either they'll fax it over to the doctor office. So that's what we do. So, and we take all the pressure off the patients as well, because when they come in the door, they say, oh, we cannot get into this laboratory for a month or two and things like that, but they just call us and we just accept them right through the doors. And we also, once again, we offer premier customer service. It's a friendly, clean atmosphere at our office all the time, no matter what. And we don't just do this just because to try to, set the stage because, okay, we try to get business. No, we are a family-owned business. Matter of fact, it's a woman-owned business. I went into business maybe at February of 2016. This year, February 16, would make 8 years that A&M Phlebotomy been in service. It's a woman-owned business.
Love it. I love it.
And we had so far 6 blood draw centers, but due to COVID, we're down to 1.
Okay.
We had 1 in Boca, we had 1 in Sebastian, we had 1 in Melbourne, and we had also where our home base is, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
What I'm hearing from you is that you are fighting for
Yes.
your business.
Yes, I am.
And your business is going to thrive because you have your eyes on a mission. And your mission
Yes.
is to provide top-notch care,
Yes.
concierge service,
Services.
cleanly service, accurate service to the doctor and to the patient.
Yes.
And that's a huge benefit.
Yes.
I can tell you from experience that is not always the case with the big boxes.
Correct.
Yeah, great. They're on every corner. They'll come and pick up and all that good stuff. But none have ever called me to say, hey, is this one what you really wanted? And you've done that for me several times.
Yes. Correct.
You called and
have.
said, hey, is this the lab? Are these the labs that you want, Dr. G?
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I want to make a change.
Yes.
So that's something that's unique.
Yes.
Another thing that's unique, and I want you to speak a little bit more about this other service that you have what about it when you have patients that can't make it to your lab or can't make it to my office? Is that something, would you go out to a person's home or to a person's job place of business and go pick up their labs? Would you do that?
Yes. A&M Phlebotomy Services, we offer concierge services. We draw the blood work at your home, at your doctor office, at a park, in your car, wherever you decide to have your blood work done. You'd be amazed. I mean, people want it done in the car, They want it done at their office. So far, I even went and did blood work on a ship. Yes, to an employee that was on the ship. Yes. So yes, we do that, and we also offer. Just say if a doctor office is short of staff, we can staff your office, and help out with phlebotomy and drawing the labs and things like that. So that's another expertise that A&M Phlebotomy offer. We also just say if you have a phlebotomist that needs some touch on some skills, we come and train for that as well. So we do a little bit of everything with A&M Phlebotomy Services, and that's why it's called services.
I love it.
We also offer specialty kits. So that means that you have to have a special kit, like either from Vibrant America or from any Avise, any of these special kits, we do them as well. So we would draw the blood, and we would process it, and we would send it off by to FedEx and UPS. So the patient got to just come to my office and get it done, or either we go to their home as well.
That sounds like you are the Swiss Army knife of blood draws.
Yes.
To me.
Yes.
Sounds like you have found every which way to service patients.
Correct.
And make it as convenient as possible to them.
Correct.
And offer them even more value by going out to them if they're at work and they can't get away, if they're with the baby and can't get out.
Correct.
If they're stuck on a ship and they're working and you have to go there, you will go and go that extra mile
Yes.
Again, that's another service that the big boxes aren't doing. So that also, I believe that sets you apart and
Yes.
shows that you are here for the patient
Yes.
for the long term. Let me ask you, well, expound a little bit more on this service that you have, where you would, help the office brush up on the lab draws. I guess what I'm seeing, what I envision is, okay, well, I just hired a new MA or a new nurse in my office, and it seems that they're not as proficient
Yes.
as they claim to be on
Correct.
the interview. Is that something you would come in and show them? Go ahead and touch up on
Yes.
with them.
Yes, we will. So what that is called, we just come in and we just, help them brush up a little bit on their phlebotomy skills, and we just train them a little bit. And all they just need is, just a little, a little boost. And that's what A&M Phlebotomy does. We come in and we train the MA to be the best that they can be when it comes to the phlebotomy part. And we also make sure they're doing everything that's correct. So just say if a certain test is done and a lab didn't send what they're supposed to send in order need to process this test, and the phlebotomy say, okay, well, this needs to be done this way and not that way to make sure that your patients get the accurate reading. That's what we do as well.
Which is invaluable.
Exactly.
Because I make decisions based off of these labs, and some of them are, I don't want to say life-saving, but it could actually makes a huge difference.
Correct.
One lab value versus another value, what the diagnosis may or may not be,
Correct.
what I'm going to rule out or rule in based off of the lab you do. And if I
Correct.
have no confidence that they were done correctly, then it's a house of cards.
Correct.
So it's very important what you're saying, that the labs are drawn, yes, but it's drawn correctly.
Correct.
Is also important.
Most definitely.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So let's go back a little bit further. I want to know a
Okay.
little bit more about how you came across this calling of yours to do labs in the first place. Before A&M Phlebotomy opened its doors in 2016, how did you make that walk to turning the key and opening the door? How did you get to that?
Okay. We want to say back in 2013, when I came back down from the state of Georgia, I moved back here, and I went and I applied for this job at one of these other laboratories. And I got the job as a phlebotomist. And then the way the patients was being treated, they'll have appointment time. And even their appointment time would run until 45 minutes to an hour with appointment time. They would get treated unfairly and talked to, like without no respect to the front. Then when we get to the back to draw the blood, the patient's like very, very, adamant and just, very, mean, because you're seeing first your coworkers are the one that's, giving you the paperwork to draw this lab. But then by the time the patients get to you, then they're mean, they're angry. And then sometimes the patients come in there, and this what really made me went ahead and got my own business. The patient was crying about something that happened to her family, and I was listening at the same time. I'm a strong believer, and I was praying with the patient. And then they were saying, okay, we gotta go, we gotta go. They always saying, we gotta go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like if those patients are some kind of type of, like a piece of meat, you're in the meat factory. So I always say, you know what, God, I promise you, if you just give me my own blood draw center, this how I started off.
No, I would never do that.
I would never do that. Okay, so 2 years went by. December 2015, I was like, you know what, I'm going to business for myself. And I did, and I started off from my car, doing mobile, to drive all the way around town, way to Dayland, way to Boca. And I said, you know what, God, it's time to get my own blood draw center. And he did, and he gave it to me right down the street from the laboratory that I used to work for. And so I ended up being their competition. But it's not really their competition, because the labs that's coming to me has to be processed and sent to them.
Yeah.
but I'm still considered as their competition.
Right,
So
right.
that's how A&M Phlebotomy started off,
I love
because
it.
of the working conditions that I was in and I didn't like, and I wasn't happy about what was going on with the patients, or getting cussed out by the patients because I didn't do anything, but it's just that when they came in the door, they always say that the first person you meet when you come in the door will set the tone. Well, they just said it all right. They
Yeah.
make them very angry and upset. So that's how I came about with A&M Phlebotomy Services.
That's an amazing story. You know,
you.
because it comes from a place of you wanting to serve with integrity your patients. Not, you didn't say anything about, oh, I wanted to make $1 gajillion, or I wanted to become famous in the world of phlebotomy, or you said, well, I don't like the way they were treating these patients that I was
Yes.
seeing. I wanted a moment to pray with them when it was necessary,
Yes.
and I believed that it needed to be done.
Yes.
And I decided I'm just going to go ahead and do this a different way.
Correct.
Very similar to how we started here at FCMW. That we, you know, I saw that there was a lacking of, you know, doctors who cared,
Yes.
who listened to their patients, and that we could do it a different way, and still be, you know, be a business, and still, you know, hire some folks, and you know, provide jobs to a couple people in the community, but at the same time, offer good quality care.
Correct.
It's possible, and
Yes.
it's, you know, and we're doing it, and you're doing it.
Yes.
So yes, we, you know, there are good people out here
Yes.
who, you know, who are businessmen, and there are good phlebotomists, there are good doctors.
Yes.
You know, have your other that are not so good, but you know, we give patients choices,
Yes.
right? If you don't like how the way you're being treated in a big box, you know, a lab, there are choices.
Correct.
You can go to someone who cares about
Yes.
your arm,
Correct.
sticking you in what you're going through, and
Yes.
who's going to take some time to listen to you and hear what you
Correct.
have to say.
Correct.
So yeah, or again, you have choices. You could just go on one of the big boxes, just
Correct.
and do what everybody else does as well. That's fine. Either one of those are fine.
Yes.
But the fact is, you know, we give patients choices, and I love that.
Correct.
I love that you are a choice in this community.
Thank you.
All right.
And we also offer DNA testing.
Nice.
Yes, and we offer DOT and non-DOT.
You just
well.
have you just
Yes.
have a plethora of services that you offer.
Yes,
and
we
and,
offer
and
that.
and that's why I think is one of the most important things that I've discovered as doing the medicine the way I do it. The concierge medicine, plus I do insurance now, but the concierge medicine forces me to go out into the community and find people like you, and then to offer this service
Yes.
on to my concierge patients
Yes.
who appreciate this type of service. You know, they come to expect people that act like me, that I send them to people that act like me, which is
Right.
You know, it's, I mean, I'm not saying I'm the greatest in the world, but
Correct.
it takes some work. You
Yes,
got to
it
find
does.
people like you
Yes.
who are willing to sit there and take some time with patients as
Correct.
consultants.
Yes.
And that's where I would like to send my concierge patients, because that's what they expect.
Yes.
So I really do appreciate that you and I have this relationship.
Thank you so much.
In order to be able to, you know, send patients your way, because they come back inevitably. Every single last one of them are super happy with
thank you.
with the services you provide. So I
Thank
appreciate
you so
that.
much. I appreciate it too, Dr. T.
Absolutely,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Businesses
Thank you.
in our community should support each other.
Yes.
Minority businesses should support each other.
Yes.
Black woman-owned businesses that have survived since 2015, 2016,
Yes.
absolutely deserve to, you know, to continue to be patronized by our community.
Correct.
And that's why I will continue to do so.
Correct.
All right. Tell me one last thing before we get out of here. What would you like for the people to know, or what would you like for the people to receive from your business 10 years after you are no longer part of the business and you are gone? What would you like your legacy, the legacy of A&M Phlebotomy, your legacy, your personal legacy, to be in this community?
It's so easy. Customer service, premier customer service. Treat the patients, not only just the patients, treat the community. We need so much love, so much help, and that's what I want to leave. Customer service, be nice, friendly, that is free. And that is A&M Phlebotomy's legacy, premier customer service.
I love it. I love it. And
Thank
that it's more than just customer service. You end up having patients and customers that fall in love with you and your service.
Yes.
And we were talking earlier. We never know. You never know when a kind word will save a person's life.
Yes, most definitely. And we get that a lot. I mean, when patients request to have their orders sent to A&M Phlebotomy, and the doctor office be like, well, who is A&M Phlebotomy? No, you should go to this lab. And they be like, no, I want to go to my girls. I know my girls going to treat me right. And that's just the way that they speak. And what's a blessing too is when I have my patients that when they get dropped off and they have to wait on the ride, I do not leave them. I don't care if it's at 6, at 7 at night. I sit right there with them. And they say, no, you could push me outside the door. No, I won't. I'm going to sit right here until your ride come pick you up. And once again, A&M Phlebotomy is all about customer service and care. We care so much about our patients. Our patients like just like family. My patient, I say about 85% of my patients are elders. And how they hear about A&M is they tell their family, they tell their sisters. One patient came with her daughter. Her daughter had to fly down just to meet me because she said, my mom speaks so highly of you. Thank you for taking care of my mom.
It's amazing.
Because her mom was not feeling well that day. And I just say, you know, it needs to go to the hospital. I think so. So she went, and I told her care provider to please take her to the emergency room, and she did. And she came down and she met me. She said, Miss Alicia, you saved my mom's life, and I want to thank you so much. Not exaggerating, we have patients that drive away from West Palm Beach to Fort Lauderdale. I used to have patients drive away from Key West, all because of the customer service. I know I drive for customer service. I would drive from one store, if in the area I don't like it, I would drive way in Cooper City to the other store.
Listen, I hear exactly what you're saying, and I'm sure, I know it's not an exaggeration because we do it for other things, right? Oh, I don't like the way they treated me at this restaurant, so I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna go way long across the town and go to the other one.
Yes.
So if you will do that for a piece of chicken, you should be able to feel free to do that for great customer service.
Correct.
For your help.
Yes.
And they do.
That's true.
I have customers that do similar things that you're saying and drive from a very long ways from, Orlando or Tampa just to come and see me on the concierge side, which is, I take it as a great compliment. Correct. That we are actually reaching, our mission is being accomplished.
Most definitely.
Of customer service and bringing, information to power and people are making informed decisions because, better informed decisions because we give them that time and the information when they're here. Correct. So I'm elated that you are in this community.
Thank you.
And you need to stay.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere. If you're going somewhere, you take me with you. Because we need people like you in this community for this business to work.
Yes.
For this business to work.
Yes.
I need partners like you. Understand what I'm saying?
Thank you, Dr. G.
100%.
Yes.
Because I tell these people that, hey, I'm going to send you to the greatest people in every sector of medicine. And I can't do that if people like you move away.
Yes.
Or if you close your doors, or if you decide to go do something else.
Correct.
If you do, let me know.
Okay.
But we're definitely partners in this thing.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so
thank you so much.
You can count on me.
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
That's all we have today for the Healthy Exchanges with Dr. G. I hope you learned something new about A&M Phlebotomy and Miss Alicia Malone and how she does business and how she is centered on you, the customer in our community. She is just one more gem that I found here in South Florida, and I'm going to continue to bring you some more. Till the next time, see ya.